Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. So are you ready for this? Should we talk about urgency? Let's talk about what it is and how it can work on our behalf. Tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to talk about uncertainty, because uncertainty is also a part of time. It's also about, because uncertainty lights you up and makes you decide how you're going to spend your time. It's interesting how all of this works. All of this is time related. All of it has everything that's connected to it. So that's why I wanted to talk about that. Darla, you are absolutely right. This group is so uplifting, and so are you, because you're a part of it. That's what it is. And you are too, Lucy, and Andrea is, and so's Mimi. Susan, Sarah, Patsy, all of you are. That's why our group is so incredible. And my sense of urgency with you today is this. I want you to sense the urgency that's in your life right now, that you are being called on purpose for purpose today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not after the holidays, not on Monday. Today. We fuel our week. We talked about that, didn't we? We talked about that this whole last week. We set up and did a full breakdown of the sprint. Why? Because the sprint is a part of the vibrancy that's in your life. It is, because that's how you fuel your life. But we also understand and know that vibrancy doesn't come from a smaller pair of jeans. It doesn't. We think it does. That's the carousel of crazy. That's the lunatic thinking that we have. If only I could get into size X jeans, then I'll be happy. And then it happens, it doesn't work out, something happens, gain all the weight back and a few more maybe. And we start the whole process again. Just need to find the right diet with the right guru and the whole thing. And our whole lives are focused on this one stupid goal. Instead of having our lives focused, our eyes focused on the abundance of what this life represents. Sure, nice size less jeans or whatever is fine. It's great, as a matter of fact. It means that, probably you're losing some inflammation along with some body fat. But it's not everything, is it? Is it? You wouldn't be here if that's what it was. You would not be here if that's what it was. What is the most important thing right now is having vibrancy into your life. So we understand Mick Jagger's song, Time is on My Side. Yes, it is. That's the chorus, by the way. If you haven't heard this song before, if this way, you were born way, way later and you've been in a time warp and you missed it. 1964 is when it came out. I don't remember. I was too young, but I do Rolling Stones, I do remember. 1964, that's when it came out. Time is on my side. It's just the chorus. The rest of it, you can kiss goodbye. But that's the song. And I'm going to, keep going by it, because time is on your side when you decide that it is. Time is your opportunist, if you will, when you make the decision that it is. It's that simple. So when we understand that time is on our side, we understand 3 important things. You ready for them? This was so good. Number 1, the time to do something is now. One of the things that we do is we put things off, don't we? We put it off. We put it off and we think, maybe tomorrow, maybe on Monday, maybe after the holidays, maybe next year, maybe for a New Year's resolution. Put it off, put it off, put it off, put it off. What does that do? How does that help? What does that do? Well, the thing is, when you're putting things off, you are putting off, are you ready for it? Your life. You're putting off your vibrancy. You're putting off what could be. When we push off and put off and don't do something now, we don't have a sense of urgency that this is the only one life we have to live. We don't have a sense of urgency that we've got one shot. We have one shot, one shot, one. You will never do another lyric I'm going to throw at you from Seals and Croft. We may never pass this way again. It's true. You don't know if you're going to have that opportunity tomorrow, do you? You don't know what you've got for next year or next week or any of it. We don't know. And I'm not saying, oh my gosh, start hand wringing and worrying, am I going to wake up tomorrow? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being present in the present, seeing it as the gift, and exactly running like you're on fire toward your wildest dreams. That was last week's quote. I was going to just pull that one out, Sarah. Thank you. She gave it to me. It's true. Running like you're on fire toward your wildest dreams. That kind of urgency, that's the urgency that's going to put you closer to the vibrant life that you hotly desire. And I say that a lot because who doesn't hotly desire a vibrant life? Show me someone. I don't know one single soul on this planet that says, you know, really what I want is mediocrity. Really what I want is meh, lukewarm, just an okay, just want to get by. No, you don't. You want vibrancy. Vibrancy. So when you understand that the time to do something is now, it's because you get this. You get this. It's plugged into you, and it's making you kind of tingle inside. To quote Amber, it makes you razzle dazzle inside. It is, right? Do you feel that? Do you feel that sense of urgency that it's time to really run toward your life, run toward your wildest dreams, even in the midst of uncertainty, even in the, gee, I'm not really sure about all of this, but knowing, does your knowing know? Do you? I just want to put your hand over your heart and just feel your heartbeat. You're here on purpose for purpose. Do you get that? If this is the case, then the time to do something is right now. Right now. When we're done with this broadcast, do something that will get you closer to your goals. Write something down. Do something. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, when you act now, you get to be the purveyor, the creator of that outcome. Do you like that? Because I don't know about you, I want to be the creator of my own life. I don't want something by default. I don't want somebody else choosing for me. I want to be the person who creates the outcome. So when you act now, you get to create the outcome. Because I'm going to tell you right now, number three, if you don't act, you also create an outcome, and it's on default. It's an outcome that maybe you don't want. It's an outcome that somebody else chooses. It's an outcome that says, I don't have a voice in my own life. That's pretty intense, you guys, what I'm saying right there. That's intense. But if we live our lives on default, we get what we sowed. You reap what you sow. And there is so much wisdom in that. If that's what you're going to do, then that's what you're going to get back. But you can't play the victim card on this. You can't. You cannot. If you say, well, I didn't and I couldn't because, you're playing the victim card. And hasn't your life been decorated with enough rationalizations and excuses? Are you done now? Are you done? If you're done, then you sense the urgency. If you're done, then you're ready to grasp the next thing. If you're done, then you're sitting here right now listening to this, and you're just inside, you're going, yes, yes, yes. You're right, Christine, exactly. No decision is a decision in and of itself. That's exactly right. Oh man, Darla, what a thing to say. Darla says, I feel like I've been gathering a whole bunch of redundant or useless tools in search of a magic wand until now. That's because you found your people. That's because we love you. That's because you're one of us. That's what it is. And you get this. It's all about your entire life, right? That's how we get vibrant. And then the fun thing is that all of a sudden your pants are falling off. Not because your pants are on fire, but because they're getting too big, because you're fueling your life well. That's because you're having interactions with people who care about you the way you care about them, and you feel fed in your heart, mind, body, and soul. That's because of all of this when we have a sense of urgency in our lives. Isn't it so true? Amber says she's tried so many times with different workshops and goals, but I never came up with anything. There's nothing I'm striving for. Amen. We do, Elizabeth. Brilliant. We do create our own magic wand. Yes, 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 yes. 100 times yes. We do. We get to. If we, number 2, act on it, we get to create the outcome and bring our own magic to it, don't we? We do. That's what it is to become the creator of your own life, the queen of your own life, to own yourself. That's what it is. And that's my urgent plea to you to get on top of this. And I want you to understand something, because we all have something that we don't want to do, right? But that doesn't mean you get a pass. That doesn't mean you don't have to do it because, you don't want to. Does anybody just wake up in the morning and go, you know what? I really want to clean my toilets. I want to clean my toilet. I'm so excited. I can't believe it. I'm going to make a Facebook post and take pictures of all the toilets and tell everybody, I can't wait. In just a few hours, I get to clean the toilets. No one does. Not a soul. No one. But you do it anyway, don't you? Because nobody wants a gross, vile toilet. We don't put that stuff off. You don't get to check out and get a pass because you decided not to that you didn't want to do it. We got to do things we don't want to do all the time. Do you remember changing poopy diapers? Gosh, or a cat box, or dog vomit, or, doing things that just break your heart. But we do them anyway. That's who we are. That's stepping into your power when we do it anyway. Stepping into your power. That sense of urgency that I'm asking you to feel is a free pass to step into your power, to step into the woman that you really are. Deep down, you have so much more power than you know. You are so much stronger than you know. And you're here on purpose for purpose. Remember that. I want that to light a fire inside. I want you to feel it right now. If you're feeling it, give me some pinkies up right now. I want you to. I just want to see it. So anyone, I'm doing this right now with a friend who got bad news from a doctor, and we're going through it. And we're dealing with some stuff. I did it with my mom twice. In the 1990s, we sat in the doctor's office. I held her hand as her doctor said, "You've got cancer." And she had cancer and lymphoma in her lungs. Had it. She had 3/4 of a lung removed. Quit smoking, did all of that. And then, don't you know it, 7 years later, she started smoking again. Even though that lymphoma, she was one of the first people ever cured because she was part of a whole thing. And I was able to work with her with juicing, with herbs, and with supplements, with her doctor's approval, way back in the 1990s. My kids were little. And then what? 7 years later, I'm sitting in front of a doctor with her, and they're saying, we really need to start considering hospice. COPD, she started smoking again. We do things just to say that we don't want to do things like quit smoking, that doesn't mean you get a pass. That means you're going to get a consequence because you chose not to do it. There are consequences for our inactiveness. There are consequences for our non-decisions. There are consequences for not running towards your life like it's on fire. There are consequences. I want you to also understand too that when I'm talking about urgency, I'm not talking about being frantic and scared and being hand-wringer. My mother was a hand-wringer too. It's not that. It's an understanding of these 3 things. What could be, what is possible, and life is short. Just is. Like yesterday, I shared with you that I lost my father when he was 59 years old. And as a matter of fact, on his 59th birthday, he was on his deathbed. He didn't even know it was his birthday. There was no cake, no celebration, no people over. He was on his deathbed. And he died 14 days later on the 29th. So life is short. And when we understand that and we have an appreciation of what is possible, can you imagine? What if? And of course I can. Of course I am. And lately I've been saying, of course, before I am an athlete. Of course I'm an athlete. And I act like one. I eat like one. I prepare for like one. And by golly, I'm an athlete. You know, I might be almost 63-year-old athlete, but I don't care. I'm still a freaking athlete. Guns up. You know, this is what we do. This is what we do. So how do we get this whole urgency thing to just land? You know, land it like a plane. And you'll see if you're getting my homework, you're going to see exactly what this is. You're going to see exactly what this is. Number one, you act in proportion to the sense of urgency. In other words, you know, if you've got a full-on emergency and you've got somebody choking, you're going to go run over there and Heimlich them. But if you have a sense of urgency, like, you know what? It's time. I got to get this weight under control, this inflammation under control. You just got some blood tests back. It's time. That's a sense of urgency. And you don't start on Monday. You start tomorrow. You do a clean out of your pantry. You get serious about your life and run toward it like your pants are on fire. Run toward it like your vibrancy is dependent on you acting right now today. Because it is. So we act in proportion. Number two, you specifically go after that task daily. This is what goals do, because goals set the framework for what this sense of urgency is. What do you want? What does your vibrant life look like? Maybe a few pounds less. Maybe you buy a different car, or you live in a different place, or you have a whole new set of friends, or you've accomplished X, Y, and Z. You've started a business. You've done something now with this dream of yours that you've wanted to forever. You don't stop. You go. That's what it is. You go after that task with everything you've got. We have to do this. We have to do this. And number three, we have to see the big picture. What happens if you don't? What happens if you just say to the doctor, oh, well, you know, I don't want to talk about that right now. What happens? What happens if you decide that you're just not going to fix the plumbing? What happens if you don't run after your life with everything you've got? What happens? Nothing happens. Lukewarm happens. You know, just like meh happens. Regret happens. Wishing you'd done something different happens. Where do you spend your time? That's why we redeem our time. Where is it going? Is it going toward those wildest dreams? Or is it being spittered, you know, just given away to anything that comes by? Number four, I'm going to tell you this, and this is the truth. When you sense this urgency, you feel this emotion inside of you. It's a stirring inside. It's something inside of you that's just going, this is different. I'm about this. This is all the things. This is everything. Everything. And you know what? That pain is the pain that assuages I would say that urgency is the pain, is the assuager, if you will, of the pain of change. Because change is not the simplest thing in the world. You know, if it was all simple, wouldn't we all be doing it? Snap, it's done. Snap, snap, snap. No. You know, it's a daily thing. It's putting your mind on it. It's making a decision for yourself about what you want, period. That's simple. And that urgency makes it that much easier because it propels you toward what it is that you want instead of repelling you. Change comes, it's awkward at first. You feel like a little kid learning how to walk. But I'm telling you, you know, when your pants are on fire for your life, when you're excited about it and that sense of urgency is there, it all changes because emotionally we're now attached to that instead of all the other garbage. You got that? I love that. I think that's so cool. And the other thing, number 5, is don't get too comfortable. You know, don't get too comfortable because you know what happens? When you get to that place and you're saying, oh, here I am, I'm at this goal, there's going to be another one that pops up, and get ready for the discomfort again. But that's what life is when you're living vibrantly. You know, it's never just getting to a comfy place. Haven't we already seen this? That being too comfortable, what does it do? If you're too comfortable and you're sitting all day long, you're going to turn into a big pile of mush. We have to get into the discomfort by getting our butts into the gym or getting out and walking or whatever, and start lifting some weights so that we can protect our bones and our muscles. If you don't use it, you lose it. So what do? We get just uncomfortable in the gym, and there's always the next goal. And that's okay. That's what that sense of urgency does. That's how you get that vibrancy. And number 6, of course, when you're doing all of this, urgency itself is a reward in and of itself. If you meditate on it, if you think about it, you let it feed you. I'm telling you, all of those fun hormones, the oxytocin rather, sorry, and the dopamine, the serotonin, they all, you feel good. You feel good because you're doing work that's propelling you faster and faster toward your goals. And you know what else happens? This is how we compress time too. And we can get more done in that time, not so that we're crazy women trying to do things, but just so that we can sense the urgency of how important it is to live on the track of attaining and holding fast to this vibrant life. It's everything. It's everything. And a framework of goals, that's going to get you there. And understanding how to put them into your life every single day, that's going to make it extraordinarily attainable. And you know what else it's going to do? It's going to reconstruct your days, reconstruct your weeks and your months and your years into an entire vibrant life. Not just one little occasional thing here and there, but all of it. Life becomes a sense of fun, enjoyment, and it's an adventure with everyone, isn't it? Noreen says exercise really does make you feel good. Yes, yes, yes. That's exactly right. Oh, I'm telling you, this is the kind of stuff that lights me up. I hope today's show was a blessing for you. I hope it helped. You guys are the very best, by the way. I love you all so much. You light me up. And I have a sense of urgency to get this message out to you because I want you to have everything that you want. You deserve it all, every bit of it. Peace be with you. Pinkies up.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.